Good morning and happy Tuesday. I'm Kara Rucker. Air travel after the holidays has been so bad the federal government is now investigating one of the largest airlines. This is your morning rundown aimed down the middle with Straight Arrow News.
Christmas was just ruined. This was the worst Christmas ever. I wish it was not like this. Thousands of people have been stranded, flights canceled, and airport, the personnel don't have an idea. Whenever you ask them what's going on, they said, we don't know.
The Department of Transportation is now looking into Southwest Airlines after flight delays and cancellations lit up the boards at airports. The government is investigating whether the travel chaos was something Southwest could have better handled or if it was out of their control. Southwest canceled nearly 3,000 flights Monday, or 70% of scheduled flights. On Sunday, nearly half of all flights were canceled, and the problem continues this morning with already 60% of flights today disrupted.
This is the main focus right now, is to try to take care of our customers as quickly as we can and get them out of this line and with their loved ones or somewhere where they can get some rest. It's obviously been a very long week with the storm, so that's our primary concern.
Authorities are calling it the blizzard of a century. Officials in Buffalo, New York are expecting its death toll to climb today. Rescue crews are scrambling to unbury vehicles looking for survivors after hours-long blizzard conditions dumped more than 60 inches of snow. The New York governor calling it a war with Mother Nature as dozens of people died over Christmas weekend.
And as much as we can see the skies right now, we know that the storm is coming back. We're expecting another 6 to 12 inches. So anyone who declares victory and says it's over, it is way too early to say this is at its completion.
So far, 27 people in the state have been found dead, 60 nationwide, from the extreme cold produced by the winter storm. As the year comes to a close, South Korea is reflecting on the North's escalated hostility throughout 2022. And after North Korea's latest breach of the border, the South is aiming to boost its air defense and drone technology in the face of further conflict. The announcement comes after North Korean drones were reportedly spotted across its borderline and South Korea failing to shoot them down. South Korea's military apologized for its inability to react faster to the North's threats, vowing to put emphasis on military expansion at a time the U.S. is heavily involved in South Korean military exercises.
Our military will thoroughly check each troop's detection and strike assets against the enemy's drone provocation, and actively employ detection devices to spot the enemy's drone from an early stage and aggressively deploy strike assets.
Travel to China is taking a significant turn after the country's latest shift away from its zero COVID policy. Travelers will no longer be required to quarantine starting January 8th. The move will largely reopen the country to those with work and study visas or those wanting to visit family after almost 3 years of closed borders. While China pulls back on its strict policy, COVID cases in the country are rising. A Republican congressman elected to the House in November is admitting he lied on his resume leading up to midterms. Congressman-elect George Santos of New York says his job history and education was embellished on his resume. He claimed he worked for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs, but that wasn't true. He didn't graduate from college despite touting multiple prestigious degrees. Santos reportedly lied about running a nonprofit and doesn't own more than a dozen properties, despite telling voters he did. Santos says he still plans to take the oath of office on January 3rd, despite the new revelations. That's going to do it for this edition of your Morning Rundown. Thank you so much for joining us here at Straight Arrow News, where we strive to deliver journalism without agenda. From the heartland of America, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.